In Fairfield County, something new comes across my desk every day. Crimes are committed, cases are solved, and a community is made safe by the hardworking employees of the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office.
Welcome to This Week with Sheriff Dave Phelan, a weekly program on LancasterOhio.tv. We're also carried by a number of radio affiliates here in Lancaster, and certainly do appreciate you, the viewers and listeners that join us each and every week. We've been on television now for 8 years and on the radio for about 16. The show is actually taped at Fairfield Christian Academy. The students help with that. Our behind-the-scenes executive producer is Kelly Roberts. She lines the guests up and puts together a lot of great questions, and we appreciate her behind-the-scenes activities. And we have back by popular demand. Last week you joined us, Detective Jason Meadows. Glad to have you back, Detective.
Thanks, Sheriff.
And last week we talked a lot about some of the scams going on in and around Lancaster, and telling people to be cautious. Just for the viewers or listeners that may have not joined us last week, the scam is people calling themselves, identifying them as members of the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office, saying they didn't show up for grand jury or something like that, and there's a warrant for the arrest, and they got to pay so much money. And so at the end of the day, the bottom line is we never solicit money over the phone.
That's correct.
Under any circumstances.
Yes, sir.
And if you get those calls, just hang up and let us know. One of the things that's been exciting during the last few months is we have moved into a new facility at 245 Lincoln Avenue. We combined 3 facilities, actually 4. We had 3 jails and a civil division, the Detective Bureau, under one roof. And I'm already enjoying that because I get to see everybody so much more because we're all together.
Right.
And the Detective Bureau was part of that. Tell us some of the upgrades to the Detective Bureau.
Sure. Well, being where we were at our old building up on the corner of High and Main, it's been a little bit of a transition for us too, having everybody on one roof. But with that being said, the new building is very nice. It it has state-of-the-art interview rooms, video, audio recording equipment that, once we conduct these interviews, we can properly record them for, any use that they would be needed for the court system or what have you. So it's really, just to sum it up, it's a really nice facility.
Well, and the other thing I like about it is you guys are right beside the patrol division. So you walk across the hallway there, and there's so many things that are interchangeable because they're out there taking the reports, you're investigating the crimes, so you can kind of cross-pollinate a lot with information now.
We can, and that's been one of the things that we haven't been used to in the past, where the patrol deputies can come over, and if we're working on a case that they took the original report, then they're able to have more interaction with us now. And on the other side of it, if the detectives are looking for somebody, say we have been working on the case and we have, issued a warrant for someone or something along those lines, then, we can work with our patrol deputies and get that information to them, so that they can be on the lookout for whomever we may be looking for.
Right. Now the other thing is the crime scene unit. Tell us, that is just a great story, and tell us about what the crime scene unit is and how that came about.
Absolutely. So the newest crime scene unit that we have, it was actually a donated truck by the Violet Township Fire Department. It's a 2004. It's got just about 150,000 miles on it, so it's just getting broke in. But what we did, this was a pretty interesting project. Myself and the other detectives that I work with actually did virtually all of the work on it. We sanded it down, sanded all the red off. We were able to go out to a local paint supply, Auto Color. They actually donated the paint to us to paint the truck. So once we had the opportunity to get it sanded down and prepped for paint, one of our deputies that works for our office helped us. He's the one that painted it. We did all the paint prep work on it, and then once all that dried and we were able to, we put all the stripes and the light covers and everything on the truck. So once the actual project of getting the truck up and going was done, then we were able to put our equipment in it. Which is really nice. We've actually had it out now about 3 times on larger scale crime scenes.
Yeah, I know that we had a deputy involved shooting a couple weeks ago, and it was there, and so it's got to be so nice because you don't have a bunch of stuff in the trunk of a car. Everything is there. What are some of the items that are on the crime scene unit?
Absolutely. So a lot of the things that we have on the crime scene truck is our crime scene processing equipment. So we'll have DNA collection, fingerprinting. We have casting material for, say, tire prints and footprints and snow or the mud.
Right.
We have lighting equipment, so if we're on the scene and we need additional lighting, we have that. We have tools that we'd need, shovels, rakes, anything that we may need for evidence collection. We have the new addition to our new truck is that we have computers, printers, we have internet access on the truck. So it's virtually an office on wheels. I can do everything in the crime scene truck that I can do from my desk at the office due to the electronics that we've been able to put into it.
And again, these things are wonderful because they help you solve crime, help the detectives solve crime. And the best part about this is this was really cost very little money to the taxpayers. And I think that if we'd gone out to try to buy a new unit like that, it would have been maybe what?
About $250,000,
Yeah.
approximately,
Yeah.
for the size truck that we have.
And we did it for what?
Under 10.
Under 10.
Yes,
So
sir.
we've got some great detectives, and they can paint and do all those kind of things too.
Well, it was a nice project. We couldn't have done it without the help of, once again, Violet Township, Auto Color, and
Right.
Powers Trucking.
Right.
They were the 3 big, but the detectives really took an ownership of it, and it was a nice project.
Let's change gears a little bit and talk about maybe some safety things or some tips we can offer our residents here. One of the things that occasionally happens is the garage burglaries and how they get in the house or they go through the garage. Tell us a little bit about some of those crimes.
Absolutely, and this stuff is in full force right now. Not that crime ever stops, but we do see an increase in garage burglaries, in home burglaries in the summertime, and a lot of the methods that we're seeing is that people leaving personal property inside their vehicles in the driveway. That can create theft from the vehicle. We have seen where the vehicles have been broken into and the garage door openers have been accessed, and now that has allowed the criminal access to the actual garage and maybe even possibly the residence at that point. We have also seen just our regular daytime burglaries where an individual will come up to the door, knock on the front door. They may go around to the back door and knock on it as well, and if they don't get an answer, then they're throwing a brick through the window, or they're kicking the actual door in and going in and accessing. And a lot of times, whether it be electronics, guns, jewelry, those seem to be pretty popular items.
Well, and one of the things I think is important for our residents to understand is, the best thing you can have is a trusted neighbor. So if they see someone that's suspicious around the property, to go ahead and call us. Make sure if you're going on vacation, what are some things if people are going on vacation they can do to help protect their homes?
Absolutely, and one of them would be to, always, you can contact the sheriff's office and have your house put on a vacation watch. Let your trusted neighbors know that you're going out of town, or any other family members that would be willing to keep a watchful eye on your residence while you're gone. That would be two great things to protect your property while you're out of town.
Yeah, and just some other things came to mind. Is make sure you stop the newspaper, make sure you stop the mail, and those kind of things.
Sure.
Is there any particular crime that you see more regularly during the summer months? Is there something that's kind of an uptick?
Yeah, we right now we're experiencing kind of an uptick in home burglaries, where residents aren't home, and like I said, they knock on the door, no one answers, they break into the house. That's one of the ones that we're probably dealing with right now. But we also have had some burglaries and break-in and enterings at other places, businesses, the cemetery office at the cemetery up on Coompath, I believe. Floral Hills was recently broken into, and they had video surveillance, so we're actually in the process of trying to generate some leads on that particular case.
And a lot of these burglars are opportunists, and I think, if you don't have a home alarm system, that's a good idea. And even just to have a self-contained, I mean, you don't necessarily have to pay a monthly fee. You can have a home alarm system, and it's relatively inexpensive today, set up on your home, just to, if someone breaks a window, a door, something like that it goes off, it alerts neighbors, it's a siren, and you just want to scare these people away. Put signage out that you do have protection on your home.
Sure.
And all those things kind of help.
Absolutely.
Well, we're about a minute out here. Before we go off the air, what are some things that, as far as children should do if the children are home and they get a knock on the door?
Well, so if the children are at home alone and they get a knock on the door, they should contact their guardian or their parent and notify them that somebody's at the house. They could, depending on their age, make an indication that somebody is in the house. Maybe not by answering them, but by making some type of a noise.
Say, Dad's downstairs.
Sure.
Go away and then call
Sure.
us. Those kind of things.
And then, of course, they can always call the sheriff's office, and we'd be more than glad to come out and check that out.
And I've often said we would rather get called 30, 40 times and have it be nothing than that one time where a neighbor, somebody doesn't call, well, I don't think there's anything to it, I don't want to bother the sheriff's office, but we want you to call.
Sure.
We're just about out of time. Detective Jason Meadows, Fairfield County Sheriff's Office Detective Bureau, do appreciate you and the good work you've done over the years.
Thank you, Sheriff.
And until next week, same time, same place, God bless.